Okay, this is day 2 of the video, what I wish I knew about starting a business from scratch. Today we're going to look at the questions I had posed yesterday. We're going to start with the first question, which is, what are business ideas and what's the difference between a daydream and a business idea? We're just going to jump straight into it. So one key difference between a daydream or wishful thinking and a business idea is that with wishful thinking, there's no actionable plan to bring your thoughts into reality. But with a business idea, there is a clear path of action to bring it to reality. So let me just give you an example. So let's say I have a thought of building a hotel on the moon where I'll be charging people like $5,000 per night, and I'll be making $1 million a day and all the good stuff. Already you can tell that sounds ridiculous, and that really sounds like wishful thinking. And you might say, that's not fair, let's bring it back to earth. Okay, so another example can be, let's say you have a thought like this. You're at home, you're bored, you don't have a job, and you think of starting a cleaning company. And you look around, you're like, okay, I can clean the houses in my area, and you calculate to say, okay, I can charge each house $50 per clean, and calculate I can do 3 houses in a day and I can be making $150, which is awesome. But one problem is that you are too lazy to even clean your room. You don't even know the first thing about cleaning a whole house, let alone 3 in a day. And this is wishful thinking that many of us are stuck in, and you can already see that there is not really a clear plan of getting these thoughts into reality, because it's devoid of what you can do, what's possible in your own circumstances. So the biggest problem now that I've seen now with most of us is that we push these wishful thoughts and we want to turn them into reality without getting a reality check. And now you rush to put them into action, and it becomes a terrible business. And when you launch it, you get scarred, it fails, and you start thinking, no, business is too hard, business is not for me. But it's just because you wanted to launch a wish and not a business idea. Okay, let's try to dissect what is a business idea and how can you identify it. So let's use the same example of house cleaning idea as our starting point. Let's say you live in a yard which has like 20 houses, and most of the people there are working overtime, and it always seems like they never have time to clean their houses, right? And you, on the other hand, you are not employed, you're mostly at home, and you're good at keeping your house tidy, and you realize you can just go and clean their houses. And from how you clean your house, you clean it under 2 hours and you use very minimum supplies. So now you start calculating in your head, okay, if I can clean a house in under 2 hours, that means in a day I can do maybe about 3 houses. And if I can charge, let's say $20 per clean per house, that's feasible. Then you go around, you ask your neighbors if they would be happy to let someone clean their house, and what would be a fair amount that they would be happy to part away with. And they tell you, yeah, we can pay $20 per week for our house. And from those 20 houses in your yard, you find 12 of them agree to such an arrangement. So already now you can see to say there are 12 houses in your yard that need cleaning once per day. That means you can do 3 of them a day, and that means 4 days in a week you would have done each house once. That means now you have 4 days of working, 3 houses per day, each house giving you $20, and that means $60 per day. And let's say your expenses and all of the things are coming down to like $5 per clean, which means you're working away with like $55 profit. Without getting too much into the details, you can already see to say there are some qualities of what we call a business idea. The qualities are: 1, you have the ability or the skill to actually do or perform the task that you're thinking about. So you have the ability to clean your house, and you can clean it very fast. Then the second one would be there is an addressable market. So you have neighbors that you actually know, that you can see, that you can actually go to, and they actually have an identifiable problem that you can solve. So that's the second one. And the third one, you do a bit of market research. You ask your neighbors, are they okay with someone else cleaning their houses? How many times would they be comfortable with their houses getting cleaned? How much can they be comfortable to afford to pay for the service? That's the market research. Then you have a plan of action. You put all this information together. You're like, okay, if I do this once a week, if I do this many houses, I charge this much. Already you can see there's a plan forming in your head. And 5, which is the most important thing, the amount of money you spend in terms of acquiring the cleaning materials, you getting to the houses and all of those things needs to be less than the amount you're getting from your client, meaning after all has been said and done, you're making a profit. There, after all, you put all these 5 things together, you can say now you have a business idea, because there is a path of coming from the thought to reality. So all of these things don't need to be there in the order that I've just mentioned. You don't need to have ability, you don't need to have the market research, you need at least to have, like, let's say 3 of the properties I mentioned, or 4 at best. 5 would be beautiful. Okay, let's say you have 4 of the 5 properties that I've mentioned, but you are lacking the ability or the skill to execute on the business idea. Then now you might be thinking, okay, let me find someone who has the ability or the skill to actually perform this business on my behalf, and I can subcontract them. But now you need now to go to the 5th segment, which is profit, and calculate to say, am I able to hire someone in this in the price point that I've put and be able to walk away with profit? So all these things feed into each other, and it's a good filter to always use when you're trying to say, okay, do I have a wishful thought, or do I actually have a business idea? To make it easier to understand, all that I've said is just giving you a filter to help you distinguish what thoughts should I spend my time on, and what thoughts should I just like think about but forget quickly, because they are just wishful thinking and they are not going to graduate from being a thought to a business idea. This is a model that you can use to help you distinguish what to spend your time on. Okay, so to give you an example, my own business idea. So at the end of every video, I'll be giving a brief update of what I've been doing in order to bring my business idea into reality. So for me, I would say I already have a business idea, because I sort of like went through these filters in that I have the ability to launch it. I have discovered that there is definitely an addressable market. I've done a fair bit of research, and not as extensive as I would want it to be. I have a plan of action, though it's a bit complicated, but I'm trying to simplify it so that I can be able to execute it, and definitely I can make profit on it, and there's actually an ability to scale the profit beyond just like a small scale thing. And this business idea that I'm talking about, it's a company called Varsity Square. And over the next couple of videos, I'll be diving in deep into what Varsity Square is and how I am implementing my own advice in order to launch this business idea now, from business idea to an actual business. And that's what we'll be trying to do with all these videos. How do we take our thoughts into business ideas, and business ideas into actual businesses? Okay, if you're interested in that kind of a thing, make sure you follow along with the next couple of videos as we discover what this journey has in store for us. So see you again next time.